Hi, everyone. Welcome. I'm Ashley Jones, the Marketing Communications Manager here at BillingPlatform, and I'd like to thank you for joining us. In today's session, we're going to dig into how a modern approach to revenue management can help you differentiate in the market, maximize profitability, reduce operational costs, and improve the customer experience. With us today to walk through this is Mary Christensen, Director of Product Marketing. Mary is a veteran in the billing and revenue management space with over 20 years of experience, starting in the days of mainframes to today, working with the cloud-native systems needed for businesses to not only survive, but to also thrive. Thank you for being with us today, Mary.
Thanks, Ashley, and thanks to all of you for joining us today. Let's kick this off with why revenue management is a topic we should be talking about. Like us, you've probably noticed that the way companies sell products and the way buyers buy and consume products has changed over the last couple of years. And while we can't attribute all these changes to the pandemic, it's certainly one of the catalysts behind the acceleration of digital transformation by driving businesses to speed up plans for e-commerce and digital channels if they weren't already in place. Because of that, B2B buyers have come to expect what has traditionally been how B2C buyers buy, a more complete and personalized user experience, including more flexible ways to buy, consume, and pay for products and services. On top of that, subscription business models have grown to include companies where the product being offered isn't a product at all. It's a service, and the value being provided isn't ownership, it's access. That's led companies from almost every industry to jump on the recurring revenue bandwagon. The appeal of a recurring revenue stream is pushing industries to launch new and different business models, such as subscription, plus usage, plus even non-standard offers for both physical goods and digital services. Think about Apple. They sell a phone, a tablet, and a laptop for a flat fee, and then they offer services like Apple Fitness Plus on top of that for a recurring monthly or annual fee. Another change is that traditional industries such as manufacturing, medical device, and heavy equipment companies are taking that a step further by adopting both subscription and usage models. So rather than selling an imaging device or an earth mover outright, which can really cost thousands of dollars, these companies are able to provide that equipment for a minimum monthly fee, plus additional charges based on the usage. So in the example of an imaging company, a company can charge a flat rate fee plus a fee based on the number of images captured. And finally, customer expectations have changed. I think we can all agree we'd like offers to be customized to our preferences, we'd like a frictionless buying experience, and we'd like faster responses. But what are the implications of these changes? In the past, one of the biggest challenges of subscription models was simply collecting payments. Businesses lack sufficient infrastructure to collect recurring payments from thousands or even millions of customers. Today, it's so much more than that. With the new ways of selling services, companies are bound to face issues with their internal processes. So if you have to add systems to manage the new subscription and usage models like we talked about, you risk having your critical data siloed, which could slow or potentially jeopardize your billing and invoicing processes. And that could easily lead to customer experience issues. As a consumer, I want my bills to be on time and accurate. And if your billing and invoicing aren't timely and accurate, you risk your profits and revenue. This change in product and service delivery has significantly increased the complexity facing finance teams and could present challenges for them closing the books. The good news for those companies is that this demand has resulted in the ability to build long-term relationships with their customers and increase market share. The bad news is that many companies are struggling to support these new business models due to the complexity required with their current legacy systems that just can't support. So if you're thinking about some of the new ways to sell your products and services, how do you avoid some of those side effects? Well, you need to have a game plan. Think about what your company will look like in the future. Are you planning on adding subscription and usage-based pricing? Will you offer a combination of these models for both physical products and digital services? Are you planning to expand outside of your current region? And do you have any external systems that you need to integrate with? If you answered yes to any of these, you're going to need more than basic billing and invoicing, and you certainly won't be able to accomplish this with spreadsheets. So let's talk about what basic billing looks like. This is really all you need if you're selling a product like an imaging device or an earth mover. You need the ability to create an order, apply the correct taxes based on local regulations, and create easy-to-read invoices. You also need the ability for your customers to pay those invoices and for you to collect those payments. These capabilities can go a long way, but they don't account for some of the intricacies that the new way of selling products and consuming products brings. To be able to manage subscription and usage-based billing, there are 5 core pillars you need from a revenue management solution. And back to why we're here. In a nutshell, revenue management is the process that drives long-term customer relationships by supporting a seamless quote-to-cash life cycle for any combination of one-time, subscription, or usage-based business models for physical and digital products and services. To accomplish that, a single billing and revenue management platform is required with all the relevant data available and the ability to automate those processes. This covers the end-to-end revenue cycle from product setup, quoting, usage processing, billing and invoicing, and revenue recognition through to payments and collections, all on a secure next-generation cloud platform. Along with the basic billing and invoicing and the ability for customers to pay and you to collect, you will see that usage processing has now shown up under order management. That's the ability to manage usage and consumption data. That includes the data collection, consolidation of that data, conversion, and routing so you can bill an invoice for that data. A specialized solution called mediation is needed to handle this process and ensure you're accurately pricing the usage for your services. Account management is also needed to manage complex parent-child relationships that enterprises typically have, along with the ability to track and manage contracts and partner settlements in cases where you have partners reselling your product. In the pay and collect pillar, all industries can benefit from automated collections with the ability for customers with overdue accounts to make arrangements to pay at a later date and create automated dunning or payment reminders if the promise is broken. But before you can bill and invoice a customer, you really need a solid way to manage the products and services you're selling. To do that well, you need a product catalog that can hold all that data and allow you to apply pricing and rating to your products and be able to create packages and bundles. Then you need your sales team to be able to configure, price, and quote those products to prospects. With rules-based configuration, your sales team can propose only valid combinations of products and services. They can also define customer-specific pricing, and if necessary, send that off for internal approvals before generating a quote. The CPQ functionality is strongest when the approvals process is fully automated, both internally and for your prospects. The next pillar is recognize and report. These capabilities help to automate the revenue recognition process to allocate, reconcile, monitor, and recognize revenue for any billing model, billing approach, or promotional offer while staying compliant with ASC 606 and IFRS 15. And finally, it's important that you sustain and grow. You can't risk losing customers you've worked so hard to acquire. It's said that it costs 5 times more to acquire a new customer than to retain an existing one. So when you acquire a new customer, that's your chance to solidify their trust in your ability to support them and make them successful. Revenue management doesn't just end either. It's a continuous process that when done right, companies can benefit from faster time to revenue, competitive differentiation, and improved customer satisfaction. But to take advantage of all of that, a revenue management solution has to offer, you need to remember that with changing customer expectations, you need to be able to satisfy the way they want to consume and pay for your products. And that can be very different from how you currently sell your products. And you need the systems in place to help manage those customers so you don't lose them once they've signed up for your services. You also need to think about the impact on your people and processes. Many businesses are set up to run in a linear fashion, but as jobs and responsibilities change, you need to be able to pivot to support this shift in the way your operation runs so your customers see value. You also need to be prepared for cultural changes. With rigid solutions, you can't operate with any sense of agility and will tend to struggle if you're expanding operations or selling to a new demographic. And finally, you have to consider your legacy systems and how your data will be managed. Will you have to connect to systems or remap the data so it's readable by the right systems to manage your customers and be able to present them with accurate and timely invoices? This is really the way digital transformation comes to life. So besides the capabilities of a revenue management solution that we've discussed and the considerations to keep in mind, there are a few key requirements for the platform itself. First is a cloud-native platform, which means it was built in the cloud from the ground up and will be highly scalable and cost-effective to run. Next is an extensible architecture that allows you to change as your business changes without the need for heavy lifting from your IT team or professional services. Then don't forget about the other third-party solutions to manage your business. With connectors between systems, you're able to reduce time to value. And automation is so important, so you have to be on the lookout for a solution with native workflow so that you can accelerate process change and reduce errors by eliminating manual tasks. And finally, an intuitive user interface will help to lower cost, saving time and money, training your reps on how to use the system. And best of all, when done right, you can see some amazing results. John Deere and Siemens are able to differentiate in the market by delivering subscription and usage services, generating a recurring revenue stream for their companies versus being held hostage by one-time sales. And companies that have been able to maximize profits include the likes of Microsoft, who added the option of selling Office as a subscription service, Valmont and its Valley Irrigation division, who can monitor and charge for water usage with the equipment it leases, and telecom provider IDT, who was able to easily expand across multiple regions with the revenue management solution they already had in place. Recurring revenue models offered these companies a sure source of revenue that they can count on for strategic planning and investment purposes. Reducing operational costs is also a focus for every business, and with a complete revenue management solution, NBT Bank was able to reduce billing and invoicing labor costs by over 50%. Improving the customer experience is also something subscription and usage-based models can help with. When interactions with customers are limited to one-off purchases, it's difficult to develop a full understanding of consumer behaviors and preferences. But when businesses have ongoing relationships with their customers, they can maintain contact and gain deeper insights into how customers interact with their products. Those insights can be used to inform a wide range of business decisions, from product alterations to introducing new products to marketing decisions. Plus, consumers also tend to stick with the subscription service once they've signed up. Zerto is a great example of this. As a leader in disaster recovery, their mission is centered around customer experience, and they're able to do this because of the flexibility to support any kind of billing model to align with customer expectations. Another great example is VW. It's not just them, but it's a number of car companies today that are focusing on the customer experience by expanding from just selling cars to now letting drivers rent cars for occasional trips rather than owning one. These are powerful results that can be seen across industries around the world. And for those of you that might not be familiar with BillingPlatform, I wanted to spend just another minute to provide a quick overview of our solution. We help companies realize revenue for any type of product offering, from simple subscriptions to sophisticated usage-based pricing models and everything in between with our industry-leading revenue management platform. We provide full lifecycle support to optimize the revenue management process on our cloud-native platform and automate the quote-to-cash process through a single solution. Plus, our built-in usage processing engine is one of the key components that can manage usage and consumption data right out of the box. This unparalleled flexibility of the platform puts enterprises in control of how they differentiate in the market, maximize profitability, reduce operational costs, and improve the customer experience. We've only scratched the surface on what BillingPlatform can do for your company. So if you're interested in learning more on how to take your revenue management to the next level, please contact us for a free consulting session at contact@billingplatform.com. And with that, thank you for joining us today. And if you have any questions, we would love to hear from you. So please reach out. Thanks again, and we hope to see you in a future session.